On the wings of a snow white dove, he sends his pure sweet love, a sign from above. On the wings of a dove, when troubles surround us, when evils come, the body grows weak, the spirit grows numb. When these things beset us, he doesn't forget us. He sends down his love on the wings of a dove, on the wings of a snow white dove. He sends his pure sweet love, a sign from above, on the wings of a dove. When Noah had drifted on the flood many days, he searched for land in various ways. Troubles he had some, but wasn't forgotten. He sent him his love on the wings of a dove, on the wings of a snow white dove. He sends his pure sweet love, a sign from above, on the wings of a dove, on the wings of a snow white dove. He sends his pure sweet love, a sign from above, on the wings of a dove, a sign from above, on the wings of a dove.
Thank you everyone for coming. It's greatly appreciated from Tracy and myself. It's going to be hard. That was Charlie Pride, Wings of a Dove. So ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, we're gathered here today to honour the memory of Elaine Donovan, my beloved mum, sister, aunt and nana. My name's Tim Donovan, for those who don't know. My sister here is Tracy, and we thank everyone who made it here this morning to celebrate mum's life. First of all, my sister Tracy will be giving her eulogy, then it will be open up to others to share a personal word. You'll see in the handouts the songs that Tracy and myself picked, while some of my mum's favourite songs, so Charlie Pride, Wings of a Dove, Elvis Presley, Amazing Grace, and then lastly Andre Ria, Time to Say Goodbye. So after Tracy's and other eulogies, Josiah, my son, will have a reading from Psalm 23, well-known psalm, and will commit mum to the grave. So now it's over to my sister Tracy.
So thank you all for coming and attending Mum's funeral. She would be chuffed to see you all here. Mum was known to the grandkids as Daddy Evie or Nana, and always Auntie Eve to her nieces and nephews. Mum and Dad moved into 2 Maple Crescent when I was about 3 months old and lived there for all their married life. When Dad died 20 years ago, he often said to Mum, come and live with us, either in Melbourne with Tim or Brisbane with me. Mum was always adamant that she would never leave Tassie. It was in her blood to stay. Plus she said she couldn't stand living with me. After Dad died, Mum did quite a lot of tours with senior sets or Smith Travel. I was always proud of Mum to venture out into the big wide world with various trips in and around Tassie and Australia, over the mainland and also overseas to Vietnam, Hawaii, Norfolk and New Zealand. We used to joke to Mum about spending our inheritance, but she really loved these trips and did have 2 upcoming ones booked. For those family and friends that grew up with us, Mum sure knew how to cook. Dad's lunchboxes were always crammed with sweets, and I'm sure he fed half the factory most days. All my friends would always come and raid the cookie jar of yo-yos, Anzacs and Lamingtons, and could not believe that we had dessert every single night of the week, homemade of course. I should have been the size of a house. Our daughter Olivia won the Anzac baking comp in grade 6 using Mum's recipe, even though Liv claims that she tweaked it to make it her own. My recipe from Mum was always Mum's cherry cheesecake, which I make every Christmas for that. And for those who have tasted this, I know your taste buds are tingling right now. Another of Mum's specialties was curried scallops, which Mum always made for us when we came home with home-baked fresh bread. We will miss those feasts, Ma. It is amazing some stories you hear after someone has gone. The past couple of weeks, I've heard that Mum was a really good bowler. Now, whenever I spoke with Mum about bowling, there was never any talk of this accolade. In fact, Mum always said she was terrible at bowling. Well, Mother, apparently you were pretty bloody good and did have a couple of pennants under your belt. Obviously quite humble with that. Mum, we will miss you. I will miss talking to you via FaceTime, often talking to the top of your head. I know that you have missed your soulmate, Dad, over the past 20 years. And tonight, Dad can chase you across the paddock again and give you a big smooch and a cuddle. Love you, Mum.
While this next song is playing, Elvis Presley, Mum loved Elvis Presley, It's Amazing Grace, so we'll play that now. If anyone else wants to come up and give a eulogy, you're more than welcome. And then I'll close.
Amazing grace, oh how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, oh but now I'm found, was blind, oh but now I see. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun.
My name's Max. I'm the president of the local Senior Citizens Club here, where Elaine was a member. And she was always a loyal and respected member of our club. She played bowls with us. Every Friday we have social bowls, and Elaine was always there. If we needed anything, Elaine was always one to put a hand up. So we'll miss you, Elaine, and so God bless.
Okay, so this is a reading in the Bible from the book of Psalm, chapter 23. Okay, so the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you, Lord, are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runs over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
Thank you for that, Max. That was greatly appreciated. We didn't really know Mum's hidden life in the bowling world, so she may have made the Olympics. We never know. Again, I'm Tim. Great honour for me to share a bit about Mum's life. Elaine, Eva Donovan, or Elaine Eve Donovan, but we called her Eva as well. So it is a great honour to share my eulogy for my mum, and I thank everyone who's here to celebrate her life. Just go back a bit on her childhood. Our lives had always been touched by Auntie Eve or Nana in some ways, but you may not know some of the details of her early life. Mum was born in Forest. For those who don't know where Forest is, it's on the way to Smithton. It's a very small little town. Born in 18th of March 1943. She was the third child. I thought she was the fourth child, but she was the third child of Elaine and Ruby Gale. And then she had eventually settled on a place called Tier Hill in Smithton. So Tier Hill is on the top of the hill. I have fond memories of that because that's where I lived when I was born. So she's the sister to Isla, who's deceased, Glenn, Uncle Glenn, who's here, Jeff, who's in Queensland, Auntie Elaine, who's here behind Tracy, and baby Trevor. Where's Trev? There he is. Trevor's there. So Mum had a busy childhood as the home in Smithton was a dairy farm. I have fond memories of Grandma milking cows. I think we had about 30 up on Teal Hill, and she did them by hand. They breed them tough in Tassie. I just fondly remember that. Although I was a very young boy, I do remember that. Some of her career and early life, Mum went to various schools around Smithton and eventually went to train as a nurse in Launceston. So she was up in Lonnie doing the nursing, and was a nurse for a few years, I think for 3 or 4 years, I think, Auntie Helen, is that correct? Yeah, it wasn't long, and then she was a very sporty lady as well. If you know anything about Mum's, she played bowls, but she played a lot of hockey and even played women's footy. Back in the 1960s, that's very progressive for her time. I reckon she would have made the AFL team if there was a team available in the 1960s. Some of her family life history as well. I understand about in 1967, she met a dashing young man from New South Wales in Smithton called Jim Donovan. Jim was an older gentleman compared to Mum. Dad was 40, Mum was 25. Dad swept her off her feet, or Mum swept him off his feet, or vice versa. And they were married and I was born in 1968 at Smithton Hospital. It doesn't long exist. And Jim and Elaine were married in 1969 in Stanley at the little church at the bottom of the nut. And I was there, supposedly. I don't remember much of the wedding. So back in 1969, it's pretty rare for a child to be at a wedding, but I don't remember anything of the wedding, but I heard it was a lot of fun. So we moved from Smithton, and we rented a first house in Mount Hicks Road, and Trevor was saying, or Glenn was saying, my dad stirring up that we were going to live in a barn on the way to Mount Hicks Road, and Pop probably cracked the sads at him or something like that as well. So then we bought the house at 2 Maple Crescent, and then Tracy was born here at Wynyard Hospital, which is now not a hospital anymore, in 1970. I had a blank there, I just had 1970, yeah. So some of my memories of my mum. So mum devoted herself to her family. She was a homemaker for all of her life. She never worked. She looked after me and Tracy. And as Tracy said, we have fond memories of her fantastic cooking and her great desserts, her pavs, known for her pavlovas, her sweets and cakes. And then Dad's workmate always looked forward to Dad's lunchbox because there were always extras in there, and they probably got fat out of it. And Mum was an expert rescuer. She was a lifeguard, saving me at the beach down here at Wynyard Beach when I went out on the tyre. Popped off the tyre, I got dragged out by a tide, and then I started panicking, and then Mum came to the rescue. Tracy was there as well. I think we were on the beach there as young kids. And even here down at Wynyard Basketball Centre, where I lost my temper and went through the glass door and cut myself really bad, blood was splurting up. I still got memories of that, but Mum came to rescue me there as well. And we're thankful, Tracy and myself, for the many trips Mum did to various sporting commitments. Tracy with netball, everything that we all did as kids, footy. She was our taxi. Mum was always there for us to move us wherever we needed to go. We also have fond memories of regular fishing trips. If you know anything of the Donovan family, we always was at the point. Dad loved fishing. Mum tagged along. I don't think Mum was a keen fisherman, but she tagged along at Stanley Wharf, Black River. And I have fond memories of great family trips down to the east coast as Helens and Scamander with Mum and Dad and the Finches. And we ever had many holiday with the Finch families at Brickmakers Beach. Is that the place? That rings a bell to me. And as I stand here today, I take great solace in knowing that Mum's legacy lives on through Tracy and myself and her 6 grandchildren, Josiah, who you just met, Daniel, Olivia, Andrew, Samuel and Levi. Mum, we thank you for being part of our lives, and we're all going to miss you deeply. So we're going to now commit Mum to the grave, and as we do that, we've got a song to play. You all be upstanding, please. Time has come now for us to bid farewell to Elaine, Mum, Nana and Auntie Eve. Mum, we let you go now in peaceful, thankful for all you've been, treasuring your love. Farewell, Mum, and thank you once again.